What's up, guys? Coach Mike here, and today we're going to go over some details on the deadlift. All right, deadlift is a great exercise for you. A lot of people don't like to do it. They say it hurts their back. Most of the time, it's usually positional issues and just the inability to brace into a proper deadlift. So they end up lifting with too much of their low back like this, and they experience back pain. So we're going to talk about the setup, and we'll get started. So there's a couple, multiple stances and widths of a deadlift. A lot of people prefer to deadlift sumo, which essentially means I'm gonna have a wider stance like this, and my hands are gonna be in between my legs, right? So I'll get close to the bar, my feet will be on kind of an angle. Some people do sumo with their feet forward. I like the feet open. I'm gonna let my arms just drop straight. I'm gonna try to stay as tall as possible, and I'm gonna squat down, trying to drop my hips to the bar, but just enough to get a grip. We don't wanna go down too much like this. So when I get my stance, I'm here, and then you're gonna grab the bar, and you're going to pull back until my shoulders are vertical over the bar. That's a sumo setup. Conventional is a normal deadlift. I'll put probably this bone right here or the big toe under the bar, you know, somewhere in the front of the feet, as opposed to being all the way close to the bar like this, because then you'll smash your shins. Just right here, so toes a little bit in front. Same idea. I'm going to come down, but now my hands are outside of my knees. All right, same idea. I can wiggle out all that slack, and I get up nice and tall till my shoulders are over here. What you don't want to do is squat the deadlift. You'll see a lot of people squat the deadlift. They'll go into like a mod sumo or something like this, and their knees will go so far over the bar, and they're essentially in a squat instead of a deadlift. And what that's going to do is it's going to make deadlifting miserable. I'm going to have to pull this bar in front of my knee to avoid it, like this. All right? Inefficient. The bar path is not straight up and down. It's not a proper deadlift. All right? So I'll just show you conventional today. So we're going to put the feet about hip width apart, square it up. I'm going to come down, all right, just as I'm hinging here as opposed to squatting. So I hinge down, I grab the bar, and what I'm going to do is, this is a trick by powerlifter Ed Cohn. He wiggles himself into place for the first rep, right? It gets nice and tight. I'm also going to try to drive my triceps back to protect my armpits. This will prevent me from being super round until the weight gets really heavy. So I'm here, I grab the bar, I wiggle myself in tight. I'm going to lock my lats here, and I'm going to kind of keep my head up a little bit. If I look down, it's counterintuitive because I'm going up. Right? So I don't want my hips to shoot. If I look down like this, my hips will shoot up first, and then I'll deadlift like this. So wiggle out all that slack, get nice tension, okay? And the bar path's going straight up, right? Drive through the feet, bring the hips forward until you're standing completely. So my knees are locked out, my hips are locked, my abs are tight, my shoulders are back, and my head is looking forward. Then on the descent, I'm going to start by breaking either the hips or knees, depending on your preference. I try to do both at the same time. I break my hips, break my knees, and I hinge forward until the deadlift, until the bar reaches the ground. My shoulders stay above my wrist the entire time. All right, so I'll perform a couple reps so you guys can see. All right, so you probably heard me say you're gonna pull the slack out of the bar. On a or a block pull, which is, we'll talk about that another day, you won't hear it, but, or a block pull you will. There's that noise, all right? I don't want to jerk the bar by going like this. All right, so what I just did is I put a lot of neck, lat, and head tension by getting close like this. I didn't take all the slack out. So we want to get as tall as possible. And when you take the slack out, you'll hear that, all right? You're hearing the collar hit the plates like that. So that's a good audible cue for you guys. You get into position like this, slack out, so that way I have tension. And I'm driving my feet through the ground, imagining I have like scales under my feet, and I'm trying to put as much weight onto these weight scales as possible. Then I drive through the feet, finish with the hips. Descent, and hopefully that helps you with your deadlift.